Hello and welcome to Avio's Journey. Today is Monday, the 13th. We're going to be talking about DIY demos. Should you do them or should you not do them? We're going to talk about it, and it's a controversial topic like most topics in the I don't know why we have so many controversial topics in our industry. I think controversial is wrong. I think it's just opinionated. We're opinionated people. We're supposed to be. That's how we perform, right? We have to form opinions. Anyways, get off my soapbox there. It's good to be back. The 13th, real quick, I posted a video this morning on coffee time. Still got another cup of coffee here going. I was talking about, it's holidays. Make sure that you got especially getting your Christmas stuff up. Like Santa Claus, Mrs. Claus, the elves, reindeer, all the kind of offerings for the holidays. Because remember, everybody, it's not just big corporations, that you can do voiceovers for. I mean, of course, if that's all you want to do, that's fine. But, I always love to do voiceovers for everyday people, small businesses, you know what I mean, who during the holidays, I just like it. I enjoy it. It makes me happy. Do you know what I'm saying? So, that's a cool thing. So make sure you've got those offerings up, and do it now because one, we still got a month and a half out before Christmas, but also because next week's Thanksgiving, schedules. If you're like me, you got family coming. It's going to be busy, things going around, decorating, time with your family, things, the kids are off a lot more from school. So just, prepare yourself. All right, let's dive into this. Do your DIY demo or not do a DIY demo. And it was so funny. I felt like starting off the video by saying, in my younger and more vulnerable years, it's from The Great Gatsby. Anyways, that first, I was, that first phrase, it made me think about when I was younger in voiceover, years and years ago. I talked a lot about you should do your own DIY demo, because especially if you're not a place where you could reproduce what a professional sounding demo should sound or sounds like, right? So now years and years later, as I offer demo services now, I've done a lot. I've worked with a lot of people, done so many voiceovers. I have a similar but differing opinion about all of that. So that's why I said in my younger, more vulnerable years. But here's the thing. I think there's some truth. There's truth in all of this, right? Should you do your own DIY demo? Okay. To me, the answer is yes. Should you get a professional demo? The answer is yes. Okay. Should you not do one? Should you not do your DIY demo? The answer is yes. Should you not get a professional demo? The answer is yes. This is why it's controversial or you're opinionated by it. So I want to go into these, why you should and why you shouldn't. And I think when I was younger, I was very passionate. And I say younger, it's not like I was, 30 years younger, but it was, it was 4 or 5 years ago. I was very passionate about this topic. And I'm still very passionate about it, but I'm wiser now, about things and about what you need to be successful. But DIY demo. So the idea here is there's a couple of reasons why you'd want to do your own demo as opposed to getting a professional. When I say professional, someone who has experience, okay, someone who's done a lot, someone who's even possibly won awards doing demos. But I don't think the awards matter. What matters is, do those demos get people work? Do you know what I mean? The reason why you would do your own DIY demo, first, you don't really have a lot of money. Okay, you can't afford to go and spend $3,000 on a demo. Now remember, not all demos are $3,000. Like, for example, in Avio's Journey Elite Academy, we specifically only charge our Academy members. It's only our Academy members $350 to do their demo for the purpose of charging a very discounted rate so they can get a professionally done demo, right? But that's only for Avio's Journey Elite Academy members. But most places charge $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 upwards. And is it worth it? Yes. But the reason why you would do a DIY demo is because you just don't have that money. Okay. So that's one reason. Another reason is you feel that you are not in a position to reproduce, okay, the sound that comes from a engineer or a studio or a producer that's making your professional demo. Now, this is a thing that I want to talk to you about in more detail, because this is kind of, when I first started, this made complete sense to me when I was saying this, and I was sharing this on my YouTube channel and everything. And it does partially make sense. But I want to kind of go further out and say a couple things. First off, as an actor on the stage, right, when I go and perform, like let's say I go audition, right, or I send in, or I just, when I go to audition, I'm going to stand on a stage with nothing behind me, in normal clothes with a script in my hand or whatever, and I'm going to audition in front of people, who are on a table or in the audience watching, right? There's nothing there. As I get the role, all right, and I go to do it, there are going to be people who put makeup on, people who put costumes, people who build a set. There's lights, there's sound, there's a whole production that goes to make me and this whole show something super special. All right, it looks amazing. You take all that away, it's still my performance, but I could not have created all that other stuff on my own. All right, nor would I try to, because that was a lot of people with a lot of experience spending a lot of money in order to make me look like what I could look like if another team or another group of people did the same thing with me. All right, are you following me? Okay, I still have to have the right performance, and I still have to be able to have some quality in that performance and my sound, but I'm never going to be turning in work, okay, that is going to be sounding like what my commercial demo sounds like, or other, highly produced demos, because that's not the point of the demo. The demo's point is to show people what you could sound like if their engineers or their teams took your voiceover. I think, now that I've done thousands and thousands of voiceovers, and I've done a lot, work with all sorts of companies, Fortune 500 companies, to the NFL, to all the different things, companies I've worked with, I realized that my audio needs to sound great, but it's never going to sound like, I'm not turning in audio that sounds like what the finished product is going to sound like, because engineers are going to take it, people are going to take it, and they're going to turn it into, they're going to add their own stuff, they're going to add their own mix, they're going to add effects and background music and different types of mastering things, and compressions and EQs and all sorts of things that we're not adding. We're just giving them the file of our voiceover. So the reason why I said all of that is because it is somewhat a little bit misleading to say I need to be able to produce what it sounds like on my demo. That's not true. What you need to be able to produce, though, is the quality of your audio from your booth, but not the quality of the background music, the quality of the sound effects, the quality of the mix. That's not what you need to generate to turn in a file so that other engineers can then take it. Okay? That's an important distinction. Okay? And I think when I was making it before, it made complete sense to me. But when it comes to making your DIY demo, the money thing plays a huge part. That's at the basis of it. But I do think that while you're trying to make a DIY demo, you also have to take in consideration that, and this is the reason why a lot of people tell you not to do a DIY demo, because now you also have to be good at that other part that I was just talking about. You've got to be good at adding background music, adding effects, compression, okay, mixing, mastering, EQing both, understanding the low and the high and the lows, understanding, the fade ins and fade outs, but more importantly, there's an art to it as well, right? There's an art to your script writing. What What comes first? What comes second? What does people go away? Do they get a feeling? Do you stop them in their tracks and they listen to it? How do you do that? All right. Is it the music? Is it the writing? Is it both? How do you come up with that if you're just trying to do the best performance you can do? It is a lot, so you can see, and it makes complete sense why a lot of people will tell you, don't ever do your own DIY demo. Leave it to a professional producer so you can do what you're supposed to do, and that is perform. Okay. But again, the money thing is a huge driving factor. And then you'll have people who say, well, if you don't have the money, you shouldn't be, doing that. You're not ready. And I don't believe in that. So that's where I myself am faced with a dilemma, right? And that I'm always faced with that dilemma. If I don't have something and someone tells me I shouldn't do something because I don't have it, that's where the dilemma for me pops up, because I just don't want to I want to figure out a way. Right? I want to figure out a way to make it happen, even if I don't have what conventionally is accepted. Right? So, with all that being said, all right, your DIY demo, should you do one? In my personal opinion, I believe everyone should learn how to be able to put together, in our day and age today, all right, especially if you are representing yourself. The majority of us today with our home studios represent ourselves. That doesn't mean we don't have agents or we don't have representation of some kind, but typically there's very few of us these days who get the majority of our work through representation. Most of us get the majority of our work through our own efforts, representing ourselves, which means you need to be able to learn how to do this. Okay? And here's the thing too. Remember, your demo is going to be what people ask for. It's going to be what gets you work. Okay? Your marketing, all right, that's your ability to get in front of opportunities, right? That's part of it. But then you got to close the deal by your demo. So that's why when I say, should you do your DIY demo, if you do, you got to make sure it's a really good. Because remember, just being able to put something together, that doesn't mean you're going to get work. And that's where I think years of experience now and coaching hundreds of thousands of voice. I've coached a lot. Just from my mentorship program to one-on-one coaching to the academy, really been fortunate and blessed to help a lot of voice actors and listen to a lot as well. And I can tell you, I've learned that demos typically are one of the biggest reasons why you don't get work. Why you get work and why you don't get work. Because your demo's not up to par, or it's not matching the level at other demos. It's not holding people's attention. Here's another thing that'll chap your backside, right? A lot of times, remember, you got to understand perception. I'm looking for something. I look at your picture, your thumbnail, your headshot. All right. By the way, if you don't even have a headshot, you need a headshot. All right. You need something so people can see you. I know the irony of the fact that the audience that listens to us will never see us, will never know our name. All right. They only hear our voice, but the people hiring us, they want to know the person who they picture in their mind, saying their, giving their message, right? They want to see that. So it's important for you to remember that you've got to, put those guys. Totally lost my train of thought because I was picturing it in my head. What is it? What was I saying? I was saying I had to go back and look. But the point to all this is that your DIY demo must convey that you know what the heck you're doing, because they're going to listen to it and they're going to determine whether or not, based off of your demo, you're going to get, they should hire you. And if your demo stinks, meaning like it's poorly mixed, it sounds like it's amateurish, your performance won't make a difference. Okay? Now, and I totally forgot. I was going somewhere good with it. Hopefully it wasn't too bad. People are going to be like, God, I wish you reach out and just strangle me. But here's the thing. I was going to say, another little question I always get for your demo is, should you do it without music? Okay, should you do it without background music? And one of the things I started in the beginning is I went about 2 years without background music. without any background for my demos. I just took auditions I did, and I put them together, to create my demo. And here's the truth behind all of this. Can you do that? Of course you can do. You can do anything you want. Okay. Will you get a lot of work? Probably not. Will you get some work? Maybe. You might get a little bit. And this is what I wish people would say this. That's why I'm saying it to you. Okay. And you might have to make a decision that that's the best that you can do right at this moment. And that's where it's up to you as a business owner to decide. What is the very best that you can do right now? Okay? Just like a microphone, just like equipment, right? You might have a $100 microphone, and it's the very best that you can do right now. All right? Will you be able to get work with that equipment? You'll be able to get some work. Will you be able to get a ton of work? Very unlikely. You might be able to, but probably not as much as you upgrade your stuff, right? You're going to get better quality sound. As you upgrade your studio, better acoustical treatment, you're going to get better quality sound. Better quality sound, right, will lead to more people listening to your work. And as more people listen to your work, they're going to think, wow, this sounds very professional. There's not issues. Okay, people don't have time for the issues. But the reason why I bring that up, though, is because when you're first starting, you have to start where you are. And it's not going to be perfect. So don't be mad at yourself because you're struggling doing XYZ when the reality is right now the things are a little tight. You can't afford to get a ton of stuff. You can't afford to get super expensive demos. And that's fine. I'd rather you spend the money on training, on education and learning, so you know how to do it. I was just in a coaching session before this, and we were talking about how valuable it is for you to learn as much as you can about the processes of things, even how to do some of them as you go. This is a long term. By the way, what we're doing, hopefully you're not in it for a couple of months, right? Hopefully you're in this for forever, or years and years and years, right? So it's important for you to learn. All right. I love education. It's my life. I love it. I love learning. Okay. Because learning, I feels like it sets me free. The more I learn, the more I know, the more I'm able to set out and do things on my own. Right. And add to it. So the same thing, learn everything you can here, but note that it takes time. So if you do decide to do a DIY demo, there's nothing wrong with it, but just note that don't get mad at yourself. Give yourself a break. It's going to be as good as it's going to be. And you might not get a lot of work. And that's okay, right? Because your goal is to continuously upgrade, continuously get better, right? When you can afford and you saved up, right? And you've been working on your acting, start to try to get a professional demo done. Okay, but here's the thing, and here's the other side of doing DIY demos and why it's important to learn them in the long term. Because no matter what, you're not going to be able to afford, at least, unless you got a whole bunch of cash lying around, you're not going to be able to afford 10, 20 demos. And you need multiple demos, right? Even if you get scripts and you perform and you take stuff, all right, it's like the chicken and the egg. By the way, on a side note, whenever you do a job, ask to get the link or a copy to see the video or whatever they produce, because that becomes marketing, like marketing assets for you. I call it digital assets. Those digital assets are invaluable, right? Because usually, again, it's people taking your work and turning it into something, and you are a cog in the wheel. Your voiceover is a part of a larger picture. So you get that larger picture and it shows people what they could do with your voiceover. All right, but I hope this is giving you some, except for my little hiccup there in the middle. I hope this is giving you a little bit of understanding to why I think doing a DIY demo is fine. But understand that, unless you're really good at it, really good, it's going to be mediocre. And now, do I believe you'll destroy your business? No, because I've done a lot of crazy things and tried a lot of stuff and failed, and I've not destroyed my business. because I'm just not that important. What I mean by that is, people aren't sitting around and be like, that Anthony guy, he sucks. We should never hire him. Man, people don't care. All right. They really don't. All right. What they care about is, are you there in the moment they need you? All right. Now, that's not everybody. I mean, there's always an exception to the rule. But the reality is that this world is big enough to make tons of mistakes and to still succeed. All right. I always love that, what quotes from Michael Jordan, right? He said, I succeed because I fail, or, I fail a lot and that's why I succeed. Something to that nature, right? That's the truth, right? You got to give it a shot, but don't be mad at yourself when you're only getting a little bit or not a lot of work. Okay, when you're doing your own DIY demo, that's just a part of it, because you're not going to get that much work starting off. And maybe you shouldn't, right? Maybe you should keep working on your skills. Okay, but I think that's just an important thing that doesn't get said a lot, that's okay too. It's okay to start slow. This is a tough business. It's not easy. Anyone who tells you it's easy are just... I'm not a pessimist. I'm an optimist. So I think it's an amazing business to be involved in, and it's a lot of fun, and there's a lot of growth, and there's so much you can do and opportunity, but it's tough. Anything worthwhile is tough. All right, now I'm just blabbering. All right. Love you guys a bunch. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And to learn these things, you do need education. All right. Check out Avio's Journey Elite Academy. These are the things that we teach and we go over so that you get better and you can do it on your own. It's important to learn. I think it's important to work with professionals throughout your career. But again, working with professionals is great, but you can't be the only thing that you rely on. You've got to be able to take more of that responsibility onto yourself. All right. Thank you guys so much. There's a link below to try for 50% off the first month. Hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. See you tomorrow. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.